had nearly 18% increase from 2024 to
20% increase.
Almost 20%. That's
Wow.
about 18% plus. 2024 to 2025. That's people dying. People who have died
out
on the roads. So some few years back, we were having a narrative where we're looking at 6 people dying every day. But as we stand now, it's 8 people on Ghana's roads. People who goodbyed their families in the morning and never made it back. Healthy, strong, productive, economic people who unfortunately lost their life for the mere reason of using Ghana's roads. And we think that it is not acceptable. It's quite unfortunate, and the numbers are quite scary. And we are here just to engage the public to know that roads are meant for our safety, but they are killing us, and we have to do something about them.
Who is responsible? You know, I mean, your authority, national.
Yes.
What exactly is the mandate of your authority? Before we continue the conversation,
Right. So the National Road Safety Authority exists to lead public education,
okay,
and also lead in the design of policy, advise government in terms of road safety policies and interventions,
right,
and also principally look at the education of the public. So it's the lead agency for education,
right,
and we have, per our new mandate as an authority, been given control over commercial transport and entities, transport departments of various organizations, both public and private.
Okay.
So if you are an organization which has a fleet of vehicles, you are supposed to be regulated by the National Road Safety Authority,
right,
such that we will have coordinated, well-trained, well-utilized vehicles to prevent crashes from occurring on Ghana's roads. So basically, our mandate is education.
Okay.
Yes, education.
And
then
policy.
And policy.
Right.
Then we also regulate the commercial transport space and.
Okay, I just needed that for some grounding for the conversation, but I'm still looking at the numbers. I want us to look at how they are doing, because I've opened them now. I'm sure you also have them, and so you'd open it, and let's take it one after the other and touch on them so that our listeners can understand exactly what happened on our roads right from January 2025 to December 2025. So total casualties for December, I'm seeing that 1,423 reported crashes.
Yes.
1,541 persons injured. This is just December. And 276 people were were killed in December.
In December, yes.
276. That's a lot of people in just 1 month.
Yes.
And it is because they were moving from one place to another.
Yes.
But more importantly, which groups of people? Is it drivers? Is it passengers? Is it people that are walking by the roadside? Which groups of people? What are the categories?
So we have some modal groups of persons who are dying. We know that a lot more of passengers in commercial vehicles are dying.
Okay.
But worryingly, there's an increasing spate of motorcyclists dying. And also pedestrians. So if you look at pedestrians and motorcyclists, they take more than 50% of most of the cases because they are more vulnerable. They are less protected. And this narrative has been that way for so many years. In fact, in Ghana, for the previous 10 to 15 years, pedestrians used to always be about 15% of all traffic casualties, 34% of all traffic casualties. But now, motorcyclists have come to also compete with that figure, unfortunately. So the two groups mostly cross the 50% casualty component of all our traffic cases.
So pedestrians and motorcyclists.
Yes.
Those are the people that
those are the people, and it's understandably so, because they are very vulnerable. You know, those in the cars, most of the time when there are collisions, injuries may occur. In very serious situations, death occur. But for the motorcyclists and the pedestrians, they are very exposed. So any impact fatally injures them, and most of the time they end up dying.
There's something I've seen about motorcyclists. Are they supposed to be stopping at traffic lights? I'm keeping this in just for. I mean, you do road safety, and so you should be able to tell us. Are they able? Are they supposed to stand when the traffic is red?
Red.
Or they can just pass? Because I see a lot of them just. I mean,
it's not right
through.
It's not right at all, because motorcyclists are also motorists. So when we talk about motorists, we mean both drivers and motorcyclists. Everybody who is using a motorized vehicle is a motorist. So
what is a motorized vehicle?
The one which uses an engine to propel itself on the road. So when you are a cyclist, you are not a motorist. You are a pedal cyclist.
Okay.
Because you don't use an engine.
Right.
But when we are talking of the motorists, the drivers who use the trucks, the buses, and the motorcyclists, including the tricyclists, those who use the pragia and the abubuya, they are all considered as motorcyclists. So when we are talking of the casualties, the motorcyclist group comprises these three.
These three, okay.
So the 2 wheels and the 3 wheelers, they comprise the motorcyclist group. And they are expected to stop at the red light. They are supposed to obey the traffic light, much like cars and buses and trucks and all that. But because they are very quick and they can maneuver through spaces, they always feel it is not their duty to stop at the traffic light. In fact, some 4 years back, together with the police service, we went on a campaign where the police stopped picking their keys from their bike, because that was the major reason why they were not stopping at the traffic light. So when that operation came and they were educated, they were engaged, and they were made to understand that the police were no more on that tangent, but then it is more about stopping in order not to endanger yourselves. A lot of them started obeying the stop line and the red light. And I can see that there's been much improvement. Just of late, you see one case here or there. But I think generally, compared to about 8 years back or 6 years back, there's been improvement with the compliance at the traffic stop.
I see. So technically, they are supposed to be stopping, but most of them don't. Well, if you are listening to us this morning and you are a motorcyclist, then you have that information. You have to stop at every traffic light, and then you let it turn green before you move. All right. Anyway, so that was just by the way. So do the numbers actually show some differences in, say, urban roads and highways, or you don't have that data?
Yes, the numbers we've had now are just general.
Okay.
So usually what we do is we work with the Building and Road Construction, the BRI of KNUST.
Okay.
Where we normally work with them to go and clean up the data. So they help us prepare a report, which is very scientific, where we are able to determine which of the crashes occurred on urban roads, which occurred on feeder roads, and which occurred on street roads, asphalted. All those statistics are available at the National Road Safety. But because we are data-led and we are the lead agency, we take our time to peruse the data very well before we produce for consumption of the public and to lead government into policy decisions. So we have up to about 2023, where it also tells us that a lot of the crashes are happening on non-urban roads. Yes, non-urban roads. But when it comes to, because they are not roads which are within towns. Because of traffic congestion, most of the time when the crashes occur, they could be more injurious than fatal. That's how come in Greater Accra region, because the traffic situation is very high. Even though more crashes occurred in the Greater Accra region compared to Ashanti and Eastern, when the deaths were recorded, more deaths were recorded in Eastern and Ashanti than Greater Accra because of the traffic congestion. So if you check the roads in the Eastern and Ashanti region, where most of them are interlinking routes with other regions, highway deaths, which are non-urban, tend to cause a lot more deaths for Ghanaians because of speeds and higher occupancy collisions which occur on those roads. So for the urban areas, it's some knock here, a scratch here, and it's in the urban areas that we have more of the pedestrians also losing their lives because of relatively higher speeds, which exposes them to fatal injuries whenever they occur. Yes.
I see. So are there particular regions that have or corridors that constantly appear in these numbers?
Oh, certainly. More than 50% of our records are always in the Greater Accra, Ashanti, and Eastern region. But more of the fatal collisions are occurring in the Ashanti and Eastern region, particularly on the N10, Kumasi, Accra Road. Then Kumasi, Tamale, that link. Then we also have the Accra Cape Coast. road is one of the most fatal we have, much because of higher speeds and improper overtaking, general reckless driving, a lot more. And you and I can share testament of what happens on the Kumasi Accra road. I mean, a lot of people are overtaking even on the right.
That road has killed too many people.
Too many, because the driving is not considerate. A lot or more people drive without consideration for other road users. And this morning, I even had to alert the MTTD at a section of the road when I saw that because of the built-up traffic, a lot of the commercial drivers started using the shoulders. And that is one thing the National Road Authority abhors, because we always want to protect vulnerable road users. Right. Pedestrians are using the sidewalks. So if now vehicles are using the sidewalks, you are putting the pedestrians at risk. We have to alert the police that they had to detain those drivers, because so it was severely dangerous.
So they were standing there, but they didn't know about what you're saying?
Well,
is that what it is?
I think that what the drivers were doing was they used the sidewalk, but when they knew the police were ahead, so they quickly come back into the traffic.
I see.
Yes, so sometimes you just alert them that they should be on the lookout for drivers who do that earlier before they get to their side, so that they park them and have to deal with them according to law.
Right. Okay. Let's turn our attention to the causes. I mean, every year we hear this similar explanations and all of that. But let's go on it in evidence. What are the causes of the crashes or the fatalities we saw last year where we're recording?
Well, the fatalities per our records for the past 20 plus years, they've been standard causations. And the topmost cause, which takes more than 90% of our cases, is the human error. Human action. That is the topmost cause. So when we survey or we engage people, they talk to us about poor roads, lack of lighting, and we believe that those are very true. They contribute to dangerous situations on the road. However, the human being controlling the vehicle is the major determinant of whatever happens on the road. Because much like the issue of, let me say, the Voxy came out recently. You know, there are families who are using Voxy for their family routines. And they are going and coming safely. Why are the commercial ones involving themselves in crashes? They should tell us that there's something wrong with the handler.
Okay.
Even though investigations are ongoing, but a pinpoint could be made to the one handling the steering. So the number one culprit of our road crashes in Ghana is the human handler or the human on the road. So aside that, when we bring it further down, we find certain practices which contribute to this human error.
Exactly. So
the topmost is
coming to that.
Yes,
so
the topmost is distracted driving. The topmost is distracted driving. And that is something a lot of Ghanaians have not put their attention to. In Ghana now, almost at every traffic stop, 6+ of vehicles out of 10, you will find a driver holding a phone or checking something on phone. People are driving and they are making calls with the handsets or they are pressing the phone while driving. And it is a reality. A lot more distracted driving is happening. People are not paying attention. People are looking at size. And because of that, when that is complemented with speeding, we have more collisions which cannot be explained on the normal side, because you look at it like, how did this crash occur? So distracted driving is one of the human factors.
Right.
Then underlying almost all the collisions is speeding. Indeed, almost more than 80% of drivers in Ghana go beyond the stipulated speed. And we did some studies few years back, about 5 years back, and realized that in the towns of Accra, Kumasi, Tamale, the major cities, in fact, speeding is also a concern. And a lot more than 70% of all vehicles travel beyond the posted speed. I mean, at urban places, people don't go below 50. On the highways, people don't go below 90. And these are the realities. So the speeding, which underlines all, coupled with distracted driving, wrongful overtaking.
The distracted driving, I know it's not just mobile phones that distract you.
It's not mobile phone at all.
Is it because of how roads are designed all the sites around it and all of that? Could that also contribute to that?
Yes, some of them have a leeway into visibility problems.
Okay.
So you see that even the authority led by the Director General has been on a campaign to remove all advertising billboards on the medians of major roads in Accra. So you see that those are being cleared, because sometimes they also distract you. I mean, you are moving and you want to read some catchy billboard, and before you know, a second missed can result in a critical situation.
Right.
So some of these things are okay. You know, there are others who look at people working and all that, but we know that distracted driving is something which is fastly becoming a concern for us. And once distracted driving is taking place and speeds are slower, it might not have been a problem, but the speeds are higher.
Right.
So these two factors are actually causing a lot of damage to guardians on our roads. Before we come with the other factors as well.
What role do drink driving, we can also talk about overloading. What role do those things play?
So the driving under the influence, nowadays, it's not even about alcohol anymore. People are into other forms of drugs. So you have to be very technical in order to determine what is influencing the erratic driving of someone or otherwise. And the drunk driving as well, together with the GPRTU and other transport unions, I think the National Road Safety Authority has gone on a lot of campaign to mitigate such practices. So you see that the issue of drivers drinking and driving has not become so obvious now. Indeed, even the passengers themselves might even prevent you from moving the vehicle if they see that you are visibly drunk.
Right.
So now what we have also done with the National Youth Authority and all that is to also go on a campaign against drug abuse, because there are drugs people are now taking which are worse than alcohol, and when they sit behind the steering wheel, they drive erratically, and that is what we are also trying to prevent. Those are also causations, but they do not contribute much as speeding and the distracted driving. We have people who are recklessly overtaking. People who, and you know, when you recklessly overtake, fatality or serious injuries come when the speeds are high. When you are speeding and there's a broken down vehicle, you are likely not to stop in time. And that's also what contributes to those who are running into broken down vehicles on our roads. Pedestrians who are being hit as a result of speeding. People do not have enough time to stop when they see a pedestrian cross the road, or anticipate that their speeds are not able to catch up with the pedestrians. All these factors are contributing to a lot of the collisions we are experiencing.
All the things you talked about are about drivers. Are pedestrians are they innocent victims, or they also contribute to the statistics?
Well, pedestrians might not be entirely innocent. Whenever the National Road Safety Authority and its partners, stakeholders have witnessed pedestrian concerns, like I previously said, they are of importance. Pedestrians are very important to the National Road Safety Authority because they are the most vulnerable road users, particularly children. So whenever we see pedestrian concern, together with our stakeholders, sometimes we have interventions. So you see that at several sections of the road, people have put footbridges where a lot more people are seen crossing the road. Footbridges are constructed so that it will separate pedestrian activity from the traffic. Because drivers, most of the time, pedestrians misjudge the speeds of vehicles and end up being hit. Also, some of the pedestrians, whenever visibility is poor, at poorly lit areas, do not wear brightly colored clothing or wear reflective vest or reflective material. So drivers do not see them and do not anticipate. Indeed, if you walk on the roads which are poorly lit, hardly will you see people wearing bright colored clothing. So if the lights of the vehicle are not good, they end up colliding with the
so in that case, is it the pedestrian's fault to not wear? Is it the driver's fault to not see? Or it's the authority's fault to not put a street lights there?
In fact, it's multifaceted. So we know that we are supposed to have street lighting working at various sections. Sometimes they are provided, they go off. Sometimes they are technical. Other times they are sabotage.
And we don't check them.
Indeed, there have been several instances where parts have been stolen from the truck. So some of the lighting, street lights which are not working is burglary. People who have gone to steal items from it. Even the traffic lights, we don't work. People steal components of the traffic lights. So in the morning, the traffic light is not working. People have come to steal. And many a time, we have called on people to vigilance because sometimes people can wear overall and be there like they are working on it. Who are they stealing? And it just also goes in line with all these pavement covers and or covers. You know, in the morning you come and they've come to take away the metallic portion to go and melt it somewhere. And all this in the thievery is going on a lot. And it's also sabotaging some of these things we see on our roads. But
we know that problem exists. What are we doing? I haven't seen anything on that. I don't know. I know it's not in your
yes.
Or is it?
Well, it is our concern because we are the lead agency for road safety. So anything concerning the safety of road users is our concern. So when we see that it pertains to a particular institution, then we have to mandate the institution to undertake its role. For instance, when you come to there's a town around the eastern region. I'll get the name. The Brimsou also. There's a particular bridge there where a lot of vehicles were falling into the river because there were no protective or guardrails at the sides of the bridge. And there was so much speed on that stretch that when the driver saw the narrow bridge and another vehicle was approaching and decided to make a negotiation, the person fell into the river. So the complaints came, the authority went and made an assessment and had to compel the Ghana Highways Authority to come and make an intervention. And within 10 days, the intervention was made. So it has been made on that section. Right. So sometimes when a system is not working, like traffic lights are not working, about some few months back, we did an audit of traffic lights which were not working across the nation. Right. And wrote to the Department of Urban Roads, which is in charge of traffic lights, detailing to them the sections which are not working, and also telling them that it is their responsibility to do that. Other than that, we take action at the court against urban roads. Right. So they had to write back to us, tell us the situation on the ground, and also deploy their men to go and fix those which were fixable, and brought the report back to the authority, and we certified this as true. And we also communicated to the public. Okay. So sometimes the way the road sector works, if people don't know, they make a lot of assumptions. But it is well coordinated. We have institutions with various mandates, and we work beautifully together to ensure that a lot more is achieved. It's not an easy task, I can tell you. It's not easy at all, but I think we are trying. You are doing your best. All right. Anyway, so let me just announce the phone lines in case anybody's listening to us and they want to join the conversation. If you want to send us a text, feel free to do that on 0544321019, 0544321019, or you can call us on 030395661, 030395661. We're streaming live on Facebook at ZFMGH and on YouTube at Z Multimedia. You can visit those platforms also and drop a comment there, and I'll read them for you. If anything at all you want to ask, anything you want to comment on, feel free to do that this morning on those platforms. Dennis, let's continue the conversation. Yes. So from whatever we said so far, it looks like we understand that the matter is about human behavior. Yes. We accept that. Yes. Why is it that we're not making improvements after all these years of these campaigns, educations that you guys have done? Well, I will say that it's been relatively a success, even though the numbers are not acceptable. Because if you look at Ghana's population and look at the vehicular population and the number of crashes, you could see that even though it is increasing, interventions have made sure that they have not gone at the rate of vehicular or human population increment. Because if you look at our fatality rate, based on the records we have of the crashes we are having, it means that we could have gone higher as a nation. So it means the institutions are doing something, though it might not be at the optimal, but the institutions are doing something, which which we need more support to ensure. We always say as an authority that we can have the best of interventions, education, policy directives, and other, but if the citizens are not willing to accept them, it is going to be very difficult. For instance, we can educate, but when enforcement does not take place, it becomes entertainment to the one listening. Absolutely. And we all know that.
Absolutely.
So it is a shared responsibility. Whilst the National Road Safety Authority leads in the design of strategies, policies, and also advances education, we believe that our stakeholders also have to do their part. And importantly, the public has to accept whatever is being taught and do the right thing. If you look at Ghana's culture, whenever we are on the roads doing checks or having some enforcement together with our police friends, you realize that discipline is maintained. In fact, all drivers put up their best. But whenever there's nobody checking on the road, they revert to a lot of rogue behavior. So it means that it is a deliberate thing. It's not that people don't know, but people just want to cut corners, just try to take advantage of situations, try to beat others to some margins. And these are the little actions which end up killing individuals on the roads. For instance, we have been on a massive campaign, engaged leadership of motorcycling unions and all that, on this practice of, they call it, I don't know whether something, this type of gymnastics they do with the motorbikes. You know, gather or something.
Yeah.
You know, we've been on a campaign, but day in, day out, especially on streets which are not marked by police, you see the young men undertaking these activities. And we've had records of some of these activities killing innocent bystanders and even the riders themselves. Because if you check between the year 2000 and the year 2020, we've had well over 1,000 increase in the rider deaths in Ghana. Rider deaths never used to be an issue. Indeed, more riders are in the northern part of Ghana than in Accra. However, the numbers from Accra are about 4 times what is happening in the north. So you ask yourself, what could be the problem? If there was a problem, it should have been in northern Ghana, not in Accra. It means that it boils down to human behavior. We have lane splitting by riders. We have inconsiderate overtaking. Like you said, some of them do not even stop at the red light. So other vehicles do not also know that they are jumping the red light, and they also end up hitting them. People are speeding. You know, you have motorbikes which are surpassing vehicles, other cars moving at 90 kilometers per hour. Motorbikes are moving at 110, which is highly dangerous because in case of tire burst or even a pothole, you are a dead man.
A goner.
Yeah, you are gone. And these cases are happening. If you go to Kolebu now, I mean, it's an eyesore. On daily basis, they are being brought in. In fact, Kolebu has expressed concern to the National Road Safety that we need to collaborate to make sure that some of the cases being recorded at Rage and Kolebu and the rest are not recorded.
But your campaigns are supposed to focus on behavioral change.
Yes.
Do you think it's ineffective, the campaigns you guys are doing? Because you've been doing campaigns for quite a long time.
Yes.
Yeah, but we are still, I mean, you just spoke about 2024 and 2025. We're seeing increases and all of that. Is it that the campaigns are ineffective? Are we measuring it well? What exactly is wrong? Beyond the cultural norms, which I think I agree, the attitude as well. Do you think that your campaigns are effective enough?
The campaigns, I would say, are well designed, are well thought out. In fact, they are some of the industry's best. They match with global best practice. However, road safety is a very expensive venture. And normally, education, like I said, goes with compliance.
All right.
If the compliance bit is not consistent, a lot of people tend to relax on what they need to do in order to be safe on the roads. And it's not been easy as an authority. It's not been easy because the type of projections we made in order to limit the deaths occurring on our roads, we couldn't get the matching funding.
So funding is a problem.
Funding is a huge challenge at road safety.
Does it mean the government is not taking road safety serious?
Well, the government takes, because it involves lives, the government takes life. But when we look at what we need for optimal performance, we know that government is also very constrained. There are so many sectors.
What do you need?
You know, the authority needs a lot of vehicles, need tools, Even sometimes office spaces. Some of our regional officers are still struggling with office spaces. We know manpower, the whole nation, we are not more than 200, and we need to be
the whole nation.
Yeah, national road safety staff is not up to 200. So, and we are supposed to cover 16 regions, where we are supposed to do
what is the distribution like?
For the staff?
Across the regions.
Across the region, majority are in Accra and the head office. So we have about 1/5 in Accra and the head office.
But isn't it valid if you have most of the people in Accra and we're still recording the deaths? What difference is it going to make if you have other people in other regions?
Well,
do you get my question?
Yes. It is going to help because, okay, let me give you this practical situation.
Sure.
A lot of the deaths happening in the Ashanti and Eastern, which are the top 2 most fatal regions. They contribute a lot of the deaths, Ashanti and Eastern. The deaths which are occurring are normally on the highways, the N10, between these regions.
Right.
And the victims are not people from the region.
Okay.
They are mostly individuals from the northern parts, Volta and the rest. So one thing our investigation realized was, a lot of times, when the departure is made from the northern part of the country, by the time they get to the Ashanti or Eastern region, a lot of road safety concerns have come to play. Fatigue driving, poor vehicle status, passenger agitation. I mean, a whole lot of complex contributions have come to play. So you realize that even though the victims are happening in the Ashanti, if intervention has been rigorously done at the points of departure in any of the 5 regions of the north or in the Volta or something, maybe interventions will have prevented the collisions from happening in the Ashanti region. So we need a lot more people to be deployed. For instance, our laws mandate us to check every departing commercial transport, especially long distance buses, where drivers are not expected to drive for more than 4 hours without taking a break. And no driver is supposed to drive more than 8 hours in a day. But we have drivers who are going for 15 hours a day, driving consistently. The body is tired, and they end up killing people on the roads. These are all part of manpower issues. If we had the personnel to be stationed at various sections of the road, to be checking some of these things, some of these records of crashes due to fatigue driving, for instance, might not be the case. So we are challenged in terms of manpower. We are challenged in terms of vehicles. I can assure you that I'm not sure National Road Safety Authority has more than 20 working vehicles. And we are supposed to cover all the MMDAs.
Could that be the reason why people say your work has become more of just reporting deaths and all of
that? Maybe that is their perception. But if our friends in the media like yourself, sometimes when you get into our fold, you realize that there's a lot more work going on. Because sometimes if you don't strategize well, you cannot have a good intervention.
Right.
So when we are even developing campaigns, it goes with a lot of data analysis. Then we know what interventions to come out with. Before we know the men to deploy for such interventions, we have a beautiful manual for, let's say, road safety officers for all transport terminals.
Right.
But now, funding to execute it nationwide has become a challenge. You get it? Funding has become a challenge. We need apparatus to work with the police, something like our comités, what is used to check alcohol levels of drivers. They are not there. Speed radar guns are a bit limited. And all these interventions demand a lot of money. I can tell you for a fact that a speed radar gun is a very expensive gadget. You might not get one less than 100,000 Ghana cedis. Just a simple radar gun, where the police point on you like a gun. Those simple machines. You won't get one less than 100,000 Ghana cedis. And these are needed across all the major highways to check our principal cause of deaths, which is speed. So if you look at something like this and we don't have the resources to even fund the purchase of such items or procure such items, to fund teams on the road to consistently check the education we are giving is being complied with, it's going to be, if you check a typical team for a day, and you want to take a team to make sure that compliance is done on the road, it doesn't come cheap at all. And you cannot consistently do this throughout the year. I can assure you. And road safety is something a lot of Ghanaians do not take attention to. You see how we all put attention on COVID-19.
Yeah.
But I can assure you that COVID-19, unfortunately, may their source rest in peace. COVID-19 killed less than what roads kill every year. COVID-19 killed less than 1,500, if I'm not mistaken. But Ghana's roads kill nearly 2,000 plus every year. And this is the situation we have. So a lot of Ghanaians also think that road safety is something everybody knows. And that's our tragedy.
So who is supposed to come to your aid now?
In fact, aside government, the corporate world is supposed to support road safety efforts because we are all, let me say, potential victims. Because we all use the roads. Everybody is a pedestrian at a point in time. Everybody is a vehicle occupant at a point in time. So if we don't see road safety as concerning each and every one of us, we might think it is the mandate of a particular institution and its partners. And we can always lay blame. People are not fixing roads. They are not checking cars. They are not doing this. They are not doing that. But I can tell you for a fact that if we should all even give some corporate support to national road safety, maybe national road safety and partner, we want to procure speed guns for you. We want to sponsor compliance for 6 months on our major highways. I'm assuring you that a lot of the numbers will come down. Because if we are on the roads with the police, with our inspectors, road safety inspectors, some of the records we are receiving on the N10 will never happen. Because we'll consistently check it.
Okay.
And that's why we are coming up with the police service, what we call traffic tech. So now traffic enforcement is going to be automated.
Right.
Where you will be sitting here. Once you cross the traffic light, no policeman will stop you. But you come to the studio and you receive a message that you cross the red light at Legon on this day at this time. And this is the evidence of your offense. A link will be shared with you where you can go and watch what you did. Then your penalty will be attached and you'll be directed to where to go and pay. If you cannot go to the bank, they'll give you a Momo code to pay. When you are paid, you are cleared from the system. Else, you'll be accosted after 14 days.
But that's a long-term thing. Or has it started?
In fact, the machines are ready. It's just the law. We know we are amending the law.
Yeah.
The law should be amended last year, but I think some few works are being done. Immediately the law is passed, the gadgets, the cameras you are seeing, they are all ready to implement it. In fact, pilot bases have started. Maybe somebody has received some at your institution. It's just on pilot base. So when you commit an offense, a message is giving you. The fine you should have paid is giving you. But they tell you that this is pilot, so do not repeat the offense. When it starts implementation, you pay the real cash.
I see.
Yes.
All right. So there are so many other things we want to talk about, but because of our time, we have to try and wrap up. I don't know what the current penalties are for some of the offenses. I don't know if you can just educate us on that. Some of the offenses on our roads. What are some of the penalties? Well,
so a penalty unit is actually 12 cedis now. And I can, in fact, a lot more of the crimes we have, speeding and the rest, you can have penalty units running from 25 penalty units, 50 penalty units, about 300 penalty units. So if you are speeding, you can pay, say, 600 cedis for an offense. It depends on the type of crime. There are so many stipulated in the regulations, but I can tell you that it doesn't come cheap. The crimes you will pay, sometimes the minimum is 300 cedis. You can pay up to 60,000 or 80,000 based on your offense. And it doesn't come alone. Sometimes you have to even be jailed when the offense is grievous. You pay the fine and be jailed in addition. So that is how the regulation, the LI 218 stipulates a lot of the offenses.
All right, okay. Let's touch on some solutions and then we can go. What interventions in 2025 showed some improvements? I mean, from your organization, what are some of the things you did in 2025 that showed some real improvements?
Yeah, so 2025 in particular had been very challenging. It had been very challenging. Like I said, we as an authority did not receive much support from corporate world, and also government funding was a bit limited. But we understand the government has actually made it known to the authority that it intends to support. There were a lot of things which were being reset to make sure that we were put in the right path. So we believe that this year it might be better. But we did a lot of advocacy on the media. That was our major tool because we didn't have a lot of resources to move on the ground. But we did a lot of media works. And we believe that the media works went okay. However, the interventions, which were the complementary aspect of the compliance on the road, is what was a bit missing. So it was a bit on the low last year. So I believe that's why the numbers went up.
Right. So what are you prioritizing in 2026?
We are looking at compliance.
Right.
Compliance. So now we are looking at the commercial transport operators. If we're able to nip the indiscipline in the bud, a lot of what happens on the road will not be there. We have a lot of commercial vehicles which are killing people. But if we're able to control and regulate the activities, it will not be that way. So that's one area we are really looking at. Then we're also looking at regulating the activities of the commercial motorcycling, who we call Okada. This year, we know that Parliament has passed the law. So we are the entity also mandated to regulate aspects of their trade. So we have already engaged with them. In fact, they have more than 10,000 members, which we have engaged with, and we have their leadership as part of our fold. So we are rolling up registrations, uniform, for them to be well trained, well licensed, together with the DVLA, so that even though they've been licensed to trade, they don't end up building more of the numbers. We believe that because they were not regulated, that's why their numbers kept going up, because many of them were not trained. But now they are going to be regulated. We are going to train them properly and also ensure that the passengers they pick know what their rights and responsibilities are. And so touching these two of the Okada and the commercial transport this year, a lot of our challenges will be brought down. So
you're sure that by the end of this year we're going to see numbers drop, or you are hoping?
We are hoping, because it also depends on how the public accepts whatever intervention we are bringing. Yes.
All right. Okay. So we have just about 5 minutes to go. Let me just announce the phone lines one more time in case anybody is listening to us and they want to join. So let's hear from you. I mean, what are some of the unsafe behaviors that you witness daily on our roads? Should traffic penalties be harsher? What do you think we can do to actually deal with some of these things? Who bears the greatest responsibility? Text us right now on 0544321019, 0544321019, or you can call us on 03039566641, 03039566641. Hello. I think I have a caller now. Hello. All right. I think I lost. Kindly call again, 0544321019, 0544321019, and we give you the opportunity to join the conversation. You can call us on that number right now, 0544321019. Tell us what are some of the things that you see on our roads. What do you think we can do as a country to better our road safety issues here in this country? 0544321019. You can also drop a comment on our social media pages. We're streaming live on Facebook at ZFMGH, and also on YouTube at Z Multimedia. I think I have a caller now. Hello. Hello. Okay, I think hello.
Hello.
All right, great. Good morning. Your name and where you're calling us from, please.
I'm Ezekiel calling from Taiwan.
Okay. Ezekiel, talk to us.
So concerning the road safety, I feel like most of the time the market women, instead of using the footbridge, they always try to use the road just to cross the road. And it's causing a lot of accidents.
True.
So we need to do something about that.
Right. Thank you very much, Ezekiel. It's a very important thing Ezekiel was talking about, because we were having a conversation on that recently. And I don't think it's limited to market women. I've seen a lot of women actually do that, their dental side and all of that. And I think it's a big problem. What do you have to say to that, Dennis?
Is it the lack of usage for the footbridges? They prefer crossing.
Yes.
In fact, that's what is unfortunate, but it's a matter of compliance, because when we see a problem with pedestrian activity, that's where we recommend with our stakeholders to construct footbridges. And I can tell you, at the Adenta area, you remember the brouhaha which came with the construction, where they were demanding that they be constructed. They were installed, and the people refused to use it. So at a point in time, even brought law enforcers to come and whip people in line to use that thing. But I think it's a matter of discipline, because the education is done. Sometimes officers are deployed there to encourage them to use the footbridge. Sometimes people say that it is too far. the footbridge is too long, and all that. But we tell them that it is safer. Because sometimes the time you use to move from one lane to the other, you might have just crossed the footpath.
Right.
But I think some Ghanaians just don't like climbing stuff. They want to.
But is that one of the causes we are seeing too?
Yes, it's because
how major is it?
Because the vehicles are realizing that it's a footbridge. Most of the drivers do not anticipate pedestrian activity beneath the footbridge, and people cross in between the vehicles.
Yeah.
And sometimes you might not be able to blame the driver so much. If the speed is permitted at, say, 70 or 60, and you are crossing there when the footbridge is provided, even though the driver should be cautious, the driver might not anticipate pedestrian activity, knowing that the person will ideally and logically use the footbridge. So we always encourage them that do not also make yourself vulnerable to a driver's error or a driver's lack of anticipation by yourself using the footbridge. And we always encourage people to do that, because without that, you can be charged for jaywalking, which is a punishable offense. You can pay as 600 plus, even go to jail for 3 months.
But then again, it comes back to the enforcement,
yes,
and compliance.
Yes.
All right. Anyway, you can still call us 0544-321019, 0544-321019, and we can give you the opportunity. We have some few seconds to go. If you call now, we can give you the opportunity to share your thoughts with us this morning before we go. You can also drop a comment on our social media platform. We are on Facebook, Instagram, and X at ZFMGH, and also on YouTube at Z Multimedia. Please drop a comment there, and I'll read that for you right now. Okay, I see a comment here on our Facebook. Let me look at it. Okay. All right. Oh, sorry. Okay, then this is not related, but it says that today is my birthday. Praise Reynolds. Say happy birthday to you. Praise. Thank you very much for sending your message. All right, so I think we have to go. Our time is up now. But what are your final words? What do you think Ghanaians should be doing? What do you think everybody? Maybe most of our people who listen to us are employers and all of that. What do you have to tell them in actually coming up? Dealing with this particular issue.
Okay, I would like to say that the road traffic casualties, that's the injuries and deaths happening, are avoidable. We are losing so much of our productive people. In fact, majority of those dying are people below the age of 45 years, between 15 and 45 years. And I think that it is quite unfortunate. And I'll particularly also extend the same caution and encouragement to our men, that our men should be extra careful so that we can take care of the families, because 80% of all those dying are men in Ghana. 80% are men, and it's unfortunate. So we have to be cautious as vehicle occupants, as motor riders, especially when we are using the roads as pedestrians. We have to be careful, and when we are driving, we should please limit our speeds and ensure that we obey all traffic regulations.
All right, Dennis, thank you very much for your time. I think it's been a good conversation. Thanks so much for coming to share these thoughts with us. We're really grateful. We wish you the best at the NRSA. I hope that you get your funding so that you can improve the work that you do. And I hope that civil society, corporate bodies, everybody comes on board to support you and the good work you are doing so that we can minimize the deaths that we are recording as a country. But thank you so much for coming. All right. So that was Dennis. Dennis is the principal. The name is Dennis. I keep missing the Dennis Yeribu. Right? Okay, yeah, Dennis Yeribu. He's a principal planning manager at the National Road Safety Authority, and he joined us this morning for our roundtable discussion, talking about exactly what the numbers were for 2025 and what can be done about all of that. And he's calling on corporate entities, he's calling on everybody to actually come on board and support the NRSA. One of the struggles that they are facing is funding. So let's all support them to be able to do the good work that they are doing. But of course, you also have to take responsibility of yourself as you navigate the streets. You need to you need to be very careful. If you're a driver, you have to be careful. And he says that one of the major things that causes the deaths or the fatalities is human behavior. It means that we have to also be very, very careful. No overspeeding, no drink driving, make sure that you are not fatigued before you get behind the seat. I mean, there are lots of things that we have to check. And also, if you're a pedestrian walking by the roadside, make sure that you're always in some reflective clothing so that if the drivers, if the street lights are not working, the drivers can still see you anyway. So thank you very much for staying with us right until this time. We're back again tomorrow for more interesting conversations. This has been Business Breakfast on Z. My name is Nitra Bihamon. Please keep listening to Z 101.9 FM. Up next is A Brighter Side with Jeremy Okoria Mwako. And when you think Ghana, think Z. I'll see you. Bye-bye.